We welcome those of you who just watched the Clemson Tigers win at PNC Arena 70-65 over the NC State Wolfpack. Here in Winston-Salem, the Orange scored the first 5. The Deacs have scored the last 5, and there's Joe Girard knocking it down from deep.
And Joe Girard is another one of those guys that knocks the 3 down. And that loss against Miami had 7 threes, Ev. He's a guy that if he can get going early, a definitely big positive sign for Jim Boeheim.
Evan Leffler with Brian Oliver here at the Joel Coliseum. The Orange coming off a 1-point loss in Miami on Wednesday. They came straight to North Carolina instead of going back home, and there's Mucius.
Good execution by Wade Laravia, being able to get the ball inside again. Key to scoring against the Syracuse defense. Forced them to converge. You see Mucius knock down another 3 for Wake.
We knew we'd see some points today, Brian. They're coming fast and furious early. The stick back up and in for Jimmy Boeheim. And Jimmy Boeheim has been a positive sign for the Syracuse team. You saw what he's able to do earlier in the season. I like the fact that Syracuse make a concerted effort to get Edwards involved early. The rare game for Syracuse where Jimmy did not score the first 2 of the game. It was Edwards inside instead. A little teardrop wouldn't go for Carter Witt. He's starting again today for the Demon Deacs. Davian Williamson unlikely to play. Health and safety protocols. He was at practice yesterday wearing a mask, shot some free throws, but Steve Forbes likely to keep him on the sideline today. And Girard just lost it. Jim Boeheim in year number 46 at the helm of the Syracuse Orange. 46 years ago, Steve Forbes was a 5th grader in Lone Tree, Iowa in Martha Westlake's class. Shout out Mrs. Westlake. Steve Forbes coached it against Jim Boeheim for the first time as the coach of the Deacs. Dallas Walton off the back bracket and the rebound for Joe Girard. Good defensive possession for Syracuse. If you can get Walton to bail out with a 3 out there, you'll take that. Good defensive possession. You see almost steal by Williams. He had it, couldn't hang on though. Buddy off the mark, rebound, pinballs out of bounds off the hands of Cole Swider. And we'll get ourselves a timeout. Hot shooting start for both teams. Cuse and the Deacs just underway from the Joel. Welcome back to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's time to tell you our keys to the game, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. What you got today, Brian Oliver? Yeah, we talked about with Syracuse, they've got 129 made threes already. 3-point shooting is critical for them. We've seen that already on display. And for Wake Forest, points in the paint. One of the best ways to beat this zone is to get inside and try to score inside. They do a lot of damage inside the paint. They sure do. Inside the paint and beyond the arc. That's where Wake's done its business this year, averaging north of 80 points per game. Alondes Williams knocked down his first 3 ball. Here's Jake Laravia's first shot, and it's rebounded by Jesse Edwards. Fouls on Hadim C, coming off his best game as a Deac, 16 and 10 in the huge win over Florida State on Tuesday night. Better known as Hadim the Dream. They call him Dream, and he's been playing well. After time in Blacksburg, Virginia, and Oxford, Mississippi. Buddy kicks it. Girard sticks it. Good start for Girard, and I love the fact that with Buddy Boeheim, you have to honor that 3, and he's gotten so much better the last couple of years of being able to put the ball on the floor and create offense, not only for himself, but for his teammates, when you saw Girard getting that open 3. Dallas Walton unable to finish, but C keeps it alive. UC is straight away. Got it. UC is one of those guys that over the years has really improved as a 3-point shooter. With that length, a guy that can put the ball on the floor. Being able to have that second opportunity, that's the best time to shoot a 3. Wake is 3 for 6 from beyond the arc. Syracuse is 3 for 3 from deep, after going 17 of 32, setting a school record at the Watsco Center on Wednesday. 17 threes against the Canes. Shot clock at 3 from the foul line. Won't go for Buddy.
Good defense by Laravia, being able to force Buddy to shoot a contested shot. Again, you've got to stay glued to him because he's a guy that can erupt for points really fast.
Wake Forest has not led yet in this game. Heats were down 6-0 early on Tuesday. Certainly roared back against Leonard Hamilton Seminoles. C fakes it. Wake's going to have open shots today from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and the key is to make that zone shift and to be able to get into those gaps and get open shots. You see Williams not settle for the three, being able to put the ball on the floor. That's one of the things I love about his game, Evan, is the fact that he's a guy that can shoot the ball from outside, but he's going to do most of his damage in the mid-range game.
Man, 2 for 2, 5 points, and there's the first tray for Buddy Boeheim.
And that's where Syracuse is really successful. Joe Girard does a good job of penetrating. Laravia got caught looking, and you got to stay close to Buddy Boeheim. Give him an opportunity to shoot uncontested in this bucket.
Really good offense being played right now. UC is trying to keep it rolling. Yes, sir!
UC is definitely feeling. Yeah, tap yourself on the side. He's feeling it. Got it going. Wake knocking down threes early.
UC is 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. These two teams combined are 8 of 11 from deep. Syracuse has not missed. Deflected into the backcourt. Swider chases it down. 9 to shoot for Syracuse. Jimmy Boeheim hangs in the air and scores.
Nice crossover. You see Jimmy Boeheim. He's one of those guys that gritty, can put the ball on the floor and go get a bucket. That last time, being under control, realized he could get to a spot and finish.
For Wake fans who have not watched Syracuse a lot, Jimmy Boeheim, after 3 years at Cornell, did not play last year. Of course, the Ivy League season was canceled. He's Jim's older son. And Jimmy has transitioned from the Ivy League to the ACC about as well as anyone could have possibly expected.
Well, here's the thing with his length and shot-making ability. You come in and he's got grit. He's one of those guys, again, that knows the system, can come in, and what better way is to come and play for your dad. And after all these years, knowing what kind of system they like to run.
Dad, his brother, the family affair, obviously. Looking for Cameron Hildreth into the game, and the freshman from Great Britain lost it out of bounds. That is the first turnover for the Demon Deacons. Syracuse has only had 1 turnover. It's been a clean opening 8 minutes. With some good shot making both ways. Girard through the screen, pulls up, and they got the foul. He might get 3 shots. Joe Girard's got 6 already. All 5 Syracuse starters have scored. Orange by 2. And he's got a career as a character actor ahead if the basketball coaching thing doesn't work out. He has been a breath of fresh air in a number of ways.
And you see when he's come in, he's been able to ignite this fan base. When you look at what he's been able to do just in the 2nd season, you see the losses, but I love the fact that he's changed the identity of this ball club. This is a team that's going to play gritty, grimy defense. And Evan, they're already 2nd in the league in scoring at 80 points a game. Definitely a breath of fresh air for the Wake fans.
Alondes Williams, the only player in the nation currently averaging 25 and 5. Wake Forest has already doubled its win total from a year ago when they went 6 and 16 in that crazy COVID year. And this might be a crazy COVID year too, but 12 and 3, it feels very different. As we see Joe Girard out of the break shooting 3 free throws after Alondes Williams fouled him on the jump shot.
But go back to the start by Steve Forbes. You talk about this team that's 9-0 at home, and the 2 ACC wins, a good Florida State team, and then Virginia Tech. We did Virginia Tech earlier in the season. That's a very good team. So Wake is off to a really good start.
And now we learn exactly what this Wake team is going to be. I mean, you look at the schedule. They got Syracuse twice this month. They have Duke coming here. They go to Virginia. They go to Georgia Tech. They host Carolina.
And the recipe for success is that you've got a team that hangs their hat on defense. They've got multiple shot makers. They've got guys, and they've got length on the rebounding. And again, that's a good recipe for success, and so far it's been working out for them. I was going to say, as we saw LaRavia tee up that three.
Yeah, they've been great from the outside, shooting threes as well by and large. LaRavia certainly can make that shot. So yeah, Jake LaRavia was out about 90 minutes before practice started yesterday, just getting shots up. And he was the first one out on the floor today about 2 hours before tip-off. The gym rat. Edwards defended pretty well by Hadim C.
Good defense by C, forcing that shot.
Joe Girard's like, LaRavia ran me over, where's the whistle? Mucius comes up short, gets his own miss, and he's fouled by Edwards.
I like the second opportunity by Mucius. He didn't get that three to go, where you see this last play is Joe Girard. I don't know if that looked like that could have been an offensive foul.
Yep, Joe thought the same thing.
Joe Girard's like, what does the guy have to do to get a call?
So Isaiah Mucius, who just looks like a different guy this year for Wake Forest. I mean, his confidence has skyrocketed. And it was not from the opening tip-off against William and Mary. I mean, he really struggled the first couple weeks of the season before finding his stroke. And he's been phenomenal. It's by far his best season as a Demon Deacon.
Well, you talked about the personality of Steve Forbes and what he does. He emphasized his guys playing connected, playing defense, effort, and ball movement. He wants to make sure that everyone gets a touch, they get an opportunity. And one of the things you've seen with UC is the fact that he's long with his length, does a lot to be able to contribute to that defense, and has the open, almost a green light to be able to put those shots up at will.
He's made at least 3 threes and now 6 games in a row, including today. Benny Williams going to work right off the bench. Nice move, but he could not finish. Cuse by 3, nearing the midway point of this first half, and it's C in the corner.
Syracuse doing a good job of being able to limit Wake to only 1 shot. Again, so far it's been the 3-point shooting that's allowed them to be able to open this lead.
Jimmy Boeheim unable to finish. LaRavia tracks down the miss. Wake quickly gets it ahead for Hildreth. C, not bashful at all. In and out. Syracuse still has not missed, Brian, beyond the arc. They're 4 for 4 from deep. They're 3 for 10 from 2. 9 to shoot. Frank Anselm gets it to Jimmy Boeheim. And another possession here for Buddy. Going right at Williams, who didn't want to pick up the second foul, and Jimmy with a follow.
And that's one of the things that Jimmy Boeheim does, is that he's that glue guy, that he cleans up those other things. You saw Buddy being able to come with that shot. Somebody's got to put a body on him because he does a great job of crashing offensive glass.
6 points already for Jimmy. Hildreth at the top of the key, traveled with it. Second turnover for the Deeks.
And you see Buddy going in for this shot, and then no one puts the body on Jimmy Boeheim right there to clean up that extra shot. And that's a guy that, again, we talk about his ability to score. Can score inside, outside, does not mind mixing it up. Has that type of toughness that you definitely want if you Jim Boeheim.
Deep 3, Girard. Just raised the front iron, and a heck of a play by Jimmy.
And again, if you're Jim Boeheim, you can't be happy with that shot. Again, when you look at the fact that that's a contested shot, but then you see, again, Jim Boeheim being smart, realize he's got LaRavia there, gives him another possession.
Yeah, is there?
They were checking to see if that ball hit the rim. They agreed it did graze that front of the iron. First miss from deep. Syracuse. And Wake steals it, and then Mucius got hit in the head.
Mucius run that all over. And again, having talked about with Wake Forest and their defense, one of the things that's really made them good is being able to get that ball off of deflections.
That was Jesse Edwards' second foul, Brian, so he heads to the bench. And that's a big deal.
That's a big blow. That's a big blow for their interior defense because, again, talked about his solid night in Miami, 22 points and 7 blocks.
Look at Syracuse here in a 1-3-1 at the start of the possession, not the traditional 2-3. Looking up high, and Hadim C was fouled on the backside by Swider.
Good read by Williams. Realized he had C on the backside. A lot of times for big guys, you want to just throw it up at the rim. C with that length. Give him a chance to go get it.
The 2-3 zone has been hot and cold for Jim Boeheim, so he's open to trying different things. Is he? I'm not sure. C gets 2 inside.
And again, Evan, that play was set up by giving Walton the ball right there at the free throw line. You have to come up and alter that, and then Walton realizes he's got C underneath the basket. Best way to be able to break that down is to get it inside. You see Jimmy Boeheim contested and fouled by LaRavia.
It's the second three-point shooter that Wake has fouled so far in the game. LaRavia's first.
And you see Jimmy up, and you know the crowd's not happy with that, but you can tell anytime you hit the wrist, that's a foul. See it again. Camera shot doesn't lie. LaRavia being able to hit him on the arm. And again, coaches always tell you never foul the shooter.
Ted Valentine, Brian Dorsey, and Earl Walton. 3 officials presiding today. And now a quick message from Works Nitro.
Meet Works Nitro. Powerful tools for any project with gas-like power without the gas. Fueled by PowerShare batteries to give you the power to outperform.
Ted Valentine's headed to the monitor. And they're going to turn this into an official timeout to check this last sequence. The fighting Boeheims on the road in North Carolina with a 5-point lead here in the first half. Back inside the Joel Coliseum, the officials, I think, called that shot a 2 on the floor, or whether they called it a 3. It certainly looks like a 3 on the replay, so we believe Buddy Boeheim should get 1 more free throw.
Yeah, I have amazing job for my camera guys, and again, that just shows that he was clear. There was space between them. Again, your guy TB Teddy's got to be able to give him another one. It seems like they are going to give him that extra free throw. You got to applaud the officials by being able to go back and check that and correct the wrong.
They're going to give Buddy 1 more free throw here, I think.
How about the job our TV guys in the truck were able to do that? They uncovered it before TV Teddy did.
Interesting that they did not give Syracuse a chance to go for the rebound there. They just cleared everybody away, and they're going to let Wake inbound.
Did you see who was shooting? Well, I mean, it was obvious it was just going to be in. He was like, don't even worry about it.
I mean, Buddy's pretty smooth, but still.
They could have just gone ahead and just given it to him. He didn't even have to shoot it.
I don't know if Steve Forbes would have been on board for that. Great hands by Symir Torrance. And then he turns it right back over. LaRavia easily picks off the pass.
See Torrance take it and then give it back.
Sure does. Benny Williams going to get called for the reach-in foul on LaRavia. Number 1 on Benny.
Good pace by both teams in the first half. Again, we talked about Wake second in the conference in scoring. Syracuse right behind them, or close behind at 4th, scoring 78 points a game.
LaRavia gets away with a little push off.
Oh my! Okay. Downtown Winston-Salem. Go ahead, I see you. Isaiah Musius. Again, great ball movement by Wake, not settling. Musius is off to an amazing start today.
Yeah, the 4th-year senior, 14 points. Rest of the Deeks have 9. Benny Williams has been working diligently on that exact shot.
And they're really high on Benny Williams. We talked earlier with associate head coach Adrian Autry, and they're saying it's just a matter of time before he gets his foot on it. And every game, it seems like he's getting better and better and more acclimated with their system.
Well, first you got to be comfortable being out there, and then you got to produce out there, and that pass was too tall even for Hadim C. Turnover number 4 for Steve Forbes' Deets. Forbes rocking that vest yet again. Not wearing the motorcycle gear during the game, but he's ready to put on a show for you at any moment's notice. Torrance, a little teardrop goes.
Nice play by Torrance. You saw the ISO. Wake was worried about the off of Jimmy Boeheim coming off. Excuse me, Buddy came off. And again, nice little ISO. You see the stagger over there. No help side. Walton was late. Torrance doing a good job of being able to get wit one-on-one for the runner.
So Syracuse has stretched the lead to 7. Largest lead for the Orange, and certainly any conversation about Syracuse begins with the Boeheim family. Jim has coached a lot of years. This is the first time he's ever had 2 of his sons on his team. Of course, that win total does not include 101 victories that have been vacated, so he's actually won closer to 1,100 games than 1,000.
And you've seen with, with the ACC coach, with Roy Williams retiring, and then Coach K soon to be retired. Jim Boeheim is like, that's not in my future. You know what? I'm still feeling good, and I'm still going to stick with it. So, again.
I remember chatting with Jim Boeheim at ACC Media Day in October. And I talked with a lot of people that day, and all the conversations kind of run together as we see LaRavia gets fouled. But one thing that Jim said really stood out. I was asking all coaches their thoughts on Coach K and Roy Williams. And Jim, who we know, he's great friends with Coach K. They've been close for a long time. Jim said he was surprised that Coach K decided this would be his last year. And that kind of told me something, that he might have several more years ahead.
Well, you never know what goes into the decision. Obviously, in the last couple of years have been difficult for a lot of people with the pandemic, and sometimes with the frustrations of being able to navigate these waters sometimes can have a play. But again, going back to Jim Boeheim, I remember there have been years ago that they had someone as the coach in waiting, and that time has come and gone a long time ago.
He's now the coach at Washington, I believe. Swider over LaRavia. Line drive off the front rim.
And that's a shot that Swider can get anytime. You like to see him be able to penetrate. You see LaRavia wide open.
Well, Swider lost him, and Wake Forest back within 2.
Good job by Witt, realizing LaRavia is wide open. And again, Wake being able to keep and cut into this lead right now.
Gerard, Benny Williams knocks it down. Feet on the line at the long 2.
Nice play by Gerard, being able to come off with that curl. Again, one of the best ways to be able to open up threes is to penetrate, force the help, and being able to get Williams wide open for that too.
Encouraging minutes for Syracuse fans watching Benny Williams here this afternoon.
That was a heat check.
Yeah, that would have been his 5th 3 of the game, but Walton keeps it alive. And the foul is on Gerard. 6th team foul on Syracuse, who fouls infrequently. Wake still has not led in the game. How do you feel Wake has done attacking the Syracuse zone that is morphing from a 2-3 into a 1-3-1?
Well, I think that they have, but then Syracuse with the length out there, they've been able to step it up a little bit and challenge those shots. But the thing that I've really been impressed, you see the penetration by Gerard, is Syracuse's ability to be able to move the ball and not settle for those threes and get the ball on the interior.
On the interior, Edwards gets it back outside for Buddy for 2.
How smooth is that? You saw Buddy be able to shot fake, because you got to honor the fact that he's a deadly three-point shooter. Put the ball on the floor, 2 dribbles, get that separation. It's 6'6". Makes it hard for him to be hard for you to guard him.
8 points for Buddy. Gerard has 9 to lead the Orange. Mucius That would have been 17. Another heat check moment for Isaiah.
Last couple of minutes, I feel like that Wake is settling for the three, and where they had successes, at least being able to get into the gap. You see Buddy throw one up.
He comes across half court. He's in his range. Both teams have cooled off from beyond the arc after the sizzling start. We're under 4 minutes in this first half.
Again, that 1-3-1 has kind of slowed them down a little bit. You see a nice pump fake by LaRavia.
He's really smooth in there. And he'll get free throws out of the break. The Indiana State transfer draws the foul. Wake Forest trailing by 6 in an entertaining first half. We were expecting plenty of points today here inside the Joel Coliseum, and early on, both teams were on fire from beyond the arc.
And you talked about it with both teams being able to find their offense. Wake being able to knock down threes. Syracuse, but the guy that's been on fire for Wake has been Musius, and right behind him is LaRavia. Wake already 6 3-pointers in the first half. And again, we talked about these two teams being in the top 5 in the league in scoring. You see both of them off to good starts so far.
It's not uncommon to see a team shoot a ton of threes against Syracuse, but Wake has shot 16 threes and just 5 two-point attempts. And noteworthy, Jesse Edwards just picked up his 3rd foul with 3:47 remaining in this first half.
And again, we talked about the importance of him being on the floor with his length and being able to anchor that defense. Seems like he's going to have to ride the pine for the rest of this first half. But so far, Syracuse still being able to hold on to this lead. Again, with being able to penetrate. And again, you see again, Buddy Buck is coming up short with that.
Second try. Rare to see Buddy go 0 for 2 on a trip. And Alondes Williams is going to have a 1-on-1 at the other end of the floor.
Evan, you would think with the pace of this game and the way it's been going, it would seem that Wake would be up. But Syracuse has still managed to hold on to that lead. It seems time and time that Wake Forest is just right there, or one stop away, or one big shot to be able to capture his lead. But Syracuse still doing a good job of being able to limit them with their defense and make shots.
1-and-1 here for the guy they call man-man. Alondes Williams, in and out. So it's good that Benny Williams has been playing well, because Cole Swider just picked up his 2nd foul, and that's not good news for Syracuse. Gerard had it poked away. Edwards on the bench for 3 for the Orange. Williams is open. Bang!
You know what set that play up? You saw Musius go down, and Gerard almost got it from him. He didn't panic, realizing that if there are 2 guys over there, somebody open. Good recognition, realizing he can swing the ball over to Alondes Williams, wide open for the knockdown 3.
Deacons trailed by 7 at 30-23. Might be the best crowd of the season here at the Coliseum in Winston. Williams the rebound in traffic. Demon Deeks looking for their first lead.
They would have exploded if that shot had gone in.
Buddy going to work against LaRavia. Not that time. Another rebound for Man-Man.
And LaRavia has done a solid job on Buddy Bayham, forcing him off the 3. And you see Williams, it looked like it could have been a nice play, but good defense to recover. And you realize, you see the defense. You just realize he's got Williams wide open. Again, a guy like that can feel it, get it going. Nice recognition. Again, Wake doing a better job of being able to get those open shots. Again, with a little bit over 2 minutes left to go. Interesting. Syracuse needs a good offensive possession.
Bad pass. Pops around. Buddy Bayham fortunate to recover. Benny Williams rising fire. And it'll be Wake Forest basketball with 1:51 remaining in this first half. Here comes Jimmy Bayham back into the game. Symir Torrance to return as well. We've seen Wake, we've seen a lot of teams. That cross-court pass, skipping it over the whole defense to set up an open shot.
Well, one of the things you want to do is you want that defense to shift. I guess with that Syracuse defense right now, that 1-3-1, you want the ball to go inside, force them to converge, then go outside, and then this immediate swing to make that defense shift to the open person.
guy who played in this league, what's the key to a really good cross-court pass?
Is making sure that you have actually awareness and you, I'm sorry, I thought we were going to call another one from Mucius.
Wake ball. Anselm.
Back to your point, you don't want to throw it in a congested area. My little 12-year-old Hayden, I always tell her all the time when she's playing to make sure that you don't pass it where someone can get that, intercept that pass. One of the things, long court pass, you don't want anybody to intercept and go the other way.
I hear every coach these days saying fake a pass to make a pass. Laravia from the corner gives Wake Forest their first lead of the day.
Simple basketball, Evan. Penetrate, force the defense to help. Spotters on the side. Laravia being able to get Wake that lead. You see the crowd here behind their team.
Deacon fans coming to their feet. Laravia's got 12 first half points. Tough shot, wouldn't go. Swider sneaks in for the rebound. Fresh 20 for Syracuse to work with. Mucius defending Buddy Boeheim. And Torrance sneaks in again for the Swider three. Wake defends its turf. And more free throws coming for the Deeks at the other end.
And you see the excitement from the Wake fans. A great defensive possession by Isaiah Mucius, being able to lock down. And one of the best ways to guard Buddy Boeheim is put length on him and force him off that three into a contested shot.
And Buddy Boeheim just picked up his second foul, so he's one of the 3 Syracuse starters with multiple fouls. And of course, Jesse Edwards on the bench with 3. Mucius with a 1-and-1. He's now got 15 points, and we pause for a message from Coyote Tractor.
There are better-known tractors in the world than Coyote, but there's not a single tractor ever been built that's better equipped to do the dirty work. Coyote, we dig dirt.
In between free throws, Jim Boeheim has taken a timeout. Wake Forest on a 9-0 run to take their first lead today. I feel like Syracuse got some decent looks during this stretch, Brian, but Wake has upped the defensive intensity, and the Orange, after starting the game so hot, are 0 for their last 9.
And one of the things we talk about in the open is that this Wake defense, they build it, they hang their hat on being aggressive and gritty. What we've seen is that they've got length on the perimeter. They get up into you and force you to have to drive. With this Syracuse team, the scouting report is obviously that they shoot the three. You want to force them off the three-point line and force them into contested shots, and that's something that they've been able to do in the first half.
Swider playing with 2 fouls. Buddy playing with 2 fouls. Jesse Edwards on the bench with 3 since the 3:47 mark. And Isaiah Mucius, whose season high is 20, has 16 in the half.
As Wake looks to go into the half up, important to have a good defensive possession. If you're Syracuse, look to run maybe Buddy Boeheim off with some type of curl. You've got shooters, and also Swider, and also Gerard.
Over 4 minutes since Syracuse has scored. About a 7.5-second differential with a game and shot clock. Gerard going to work on Witt. Gerard forced it up. Gets the roll.
Tough shot under contact by Joe Girard.
5 seconds here for Alondes Williams. Into the traffic. Williams can't score. And Buddy Boeheim has the rebound. And we've got ourselves a 2-point game heading into the half. Got to figure if Syracuse is going to escape with a win, they're going to need Buddy and Jimmy to score a lot of points in this second half. The Boeheims combined for 14 of Syracuse's 36. Thank goodness Joe Girard had 11. Coming up at some point in the second half, stick around for the Ford Fast Break. Looking forward to that. Jake Laravia, first man out on the floor about 2 hours before tip-off today. He was out on the floor more than an hour before practice yesterday. A guy that just loves getting up shots. He's got 12. Mucius has 16. Interesting, Brian. Only 4 Deacons have scored. Alondes Williams has 8. Nadim C has 2. So Mucius, Laravia, and Williams have 36 of their 38. Again, no Davian Williamson out again today. He averaged about 13 a ball game.
And I think that when you see how they've been able to get their shots, Wake has done a good job of being able to move the ball, penetrate, go inside out, and the guys that we've highlighted, Mucius and Laravia, have been able to knock down shots. I've always thought that the first 5 minutes is crucial for both teams. Interested to see if both teams can continue the hot shooting, especially from behind the arc.
You can see Syracuse making a point of emphasis on that three-point arc in their zone early in the second half. Jesse Edwards, who only played 11 minutes in the first half due to foul troubles, back out there defensively. Shot clock winding down. Laravia pivots, fades away, misses everything. Good. That's a 30-second violation.
Good defensive possession by Syracuse, being able to force Laravia into a contested off-balance shot. Again, you talked about Syracuse and the guys that they have that have been able to knock down threes. For the later part of the first half, Wake did a better job of being able to force them off the three-point line and into contested shots. Interested to see with that length if they can continue to give them problems.
Mucius chasing Buddy Boeheim around. A couple 7-footers going head-to-head. Walton wins the battle that time. Laravia almost hit Carter Witt with that cross-court pass. Straightaway 3, no. Carter Witt really struggling from beyond the arc. The shot Steve Forbes would love for Carter to make. We saw a year ago he's very capable of making it. A nice cut. Swider from Edwards. Nice cut.
Nice vision by Gerard. You see Swider being able to do a back cut. Again, a lot of times with shooters, you don't want to sit there outside that three-point line. Swider doing a good job that back cut to be able to get the finish at the rim.
5 points for Swider. Hit an early 3 in the first half, and they did not score again. Nearly hit the end line, but Walton fortunately gets it back out for Wake. Shot clock at 5. Laravia forced to fire. Another bad offensive possession for the Deeks. And up ahead, it's Jimmy Boeheim to give the Orange the lead.
Great recognition, one Boeheim to another. Buddy being able to see Jimmy streaking down. Timeout by Wake.
Steve Forbes frustrated with the opening 2 minutes of the second half. Syracuse down 2 at the half, up 2. 2 minutes into the second. Wake Forest with an ugly couple of possessions to begin the second half. What have you seen, Brian Oliver? How has Syracuse stymied Wake so far in the second half?
Well, I think that Wake has come out and they've settled a lot. They seem like their offense has been a little bit more stagnant. In the first half, I thought the ball popped from one side to the other, inside out. Syracuse doing a better job of making sure that they are playing through their length. Again, one of the keys for this zone is be able to have active hands. Right now in the first couple of possessions, that's what they're doing.
Look at the wings of the zone. They're playing up high. Almost like a 4-1 instead of a 2-3. Williams from the corner. Got it!
And good challenge by Gerard. It was one of those instances, good deep, better. Oh, Alondes Williams, we talked about his shot-making ability, being able to shoot it with a shorter Gerard.
He's into double figures for the 16th straight game. That's every game this season for Steve Forbes and Wake Forest. Jimmy over Laravia, banks it high off the glass for 2.
And that's one of the things that you get from Jimmy Boeheim is his ability to be able to go get a bucket. A lot of times, not a great look that time. Solid defense by Laravia, but just a better offensive possession and finish the shot.
Mucius unable to answer. Rebound for Swider, quickly ahead for Buddy. With Mucius, his hand in his face, puts it on the floor. Joe Girard leans into Carter Witt, gets it back. Still 15 to shoot, and Girard from the corner. Rebounded by Witt. Looking to push. Witt circles the wagons. Alondes Williams from the other side. And it'll be Syracuse basketball.
Neither team coming into the second half, shooting the ball extremely well. But for Syracuse, the guy that's got to get going is Buddy Boeheim. That's easier said than done, because I think that Wake has done a good job with that matchup of Musius on him because of Musius's length. He's forcing Buddy off of those easy open threes and making him a dribbler.
Jimmy scored last time on LaRavia. Really good with both hands. Kicks it out to Gerard. One dribble pop. And then it's Swider sneaking in for the rebound, right back to Gerard. Wow, you don't see him miss 2 of those in a row very often.
But the aggressive defense by Wake, it seems like it's giving Syracuse some problems. You saw LaRavia being able to keep Jimmy Boeheim under wraps underneath.
Musius has cooled off. Loose ball finds Buddy. Two teams, Brian, are combined 1 for 9 from deep to begin the second half. Jimmy changes that. Nothing but nylon.
And here's one of the things about Jimmy Boeheim. He's got enough experience and enough swag about him that he's not going to be bothered by a couple of missed shots. Again, you saw him being able to go outside, inside, but then now realizing he can pull up and get that 3 off.
Should have mentioned it earlier, but for his career, Jimmy Boeheim has gone over 1,000 points tonight. Oh, Walton fanned. Jesse Edwards throws it down.
Nice vision by Joe Girard. Realize he's got Jesse Edwards running the floor, and a lot of times you got to let your big guys eat. Give them opportunity to get runs at the rim. That's going to ignite them on defense.
I'm not sure how that pass got through. Edwards denies the LaRavia feed.
This is the 3rd possession in a row that we've seen the length of Syracuse UC. Edwards with the finish.
Oh, goodness.
At the basket.
It's all Syracuse right now since halftime, Brian. The Orange with a ferocious 5 minutes to begin this second half, and the length of Jesse Edwards make it happen.
Feed the big guy and let him eat every now and then, and once he gets ignited, he says, I can get out. The finish. The Q's open it up by 8. I talked about when you come out in the second half, you have to be able to make your imprint on this on the game, and Syracuse has come out and done it with their length. With that length, they've been able to disrupt what Wake wants to do, being able to get deflections and get out and get some early offense as of late. How about Jesse Edwards being able to come in and provide defense on one end and then some scoring as well?
Walton fouling Edwards, the and 1 in transition. First miss at the line today for Syracuse. They made their first 6.
If you're Wake, if you want to be able to come back and go back to what you were doing in that first half, make that ball move. Let's get the ball inside, force the defense to have to bend a little bit, and then the kick out.
Inside to Walton, right on cue.
Or you can just throw it to the big fella and let him go ahead and have a clear run at the rim. They're so worried about guarding the perimeter guys in the threes. They left Walton wide open, being able to get the guy on his backside.
Only the 4th 2-point make of the game for Wake compared to 9 made threes. Jimmy, pass LaRavia, rejected by Walton. Williams cross court, Witt takes it. Tipped around, Edwards hangs on. Quickly ahead, Buddy Boeheim. Defended pretty well by C.
And you see one of the things that they've done, you see Buddy throws up that shot. They've been able to put length on him, force him off the 3-point line, and keep an arm or a body on him so he can't be able to get separation.
Williams,
oh my goodness. How about Alondes Williams being able to knife through the defense and the acrobatic finish on the other side of the rim.
He's shown he can make tough shots. So an 8-point gap, cut in half, back to a 4-point game.
Good fight by LaRavia around that screen with Buddy Boeheim, not allowing him to have a full curl.
Jimmy on the dribble with a right hand. He's called for a travel. 5th Syracuse turnover, and he's like, I thought I held my pivot foot. Ted Valentine just shaking his head at Jimmy Boeheim. And Syracuse will take the timeout. Jimmy still looking for answers. Meanwhile, protecting the paint, brought to you by CPI Security.
How about this weak side help by Walton being able to come over on Boeheim? good timing, being able to come up. And one of the things that Wake has been able to do to cut back into this lead is good interior defense. Said, no, not today. Get it out of here.
Wake Forest for the basketball, back within 4. Now, Ted Valentine probably didn't ref a lot of Ivy League ball games, so he's got some swagger that he brings to the game, and Jimmy is still looking for answers, trying to explain what he did and get an explanation for what Teddy V saw. Try to show it to you. Our next stoppage.
We saw Syracuse open up the half on a 13-3 run and 9-0 run. Wake has been able to come back in with some defense again. He is getting inside of that zone and not settling for contested threes.
Waltz into the corner for C. Buries it.
Again, you saw that last time. Walton they got the ball into Walton. Then everyone from Syracuse had to come out. Nice recognition, get it out to C. C with the dagger, allowing them to get back into this game. And now Wake only down 1.
That's 7 straight. Jimmy, similar move, doesn't get the roll. The foul is on Edwards, and it's his 4th. And Jim Boeheim can't believe it. Holy cow.
You see his last shot. And you see a little push.
Tough call.
That's a tough call. That's a tough call. It's a good thing that I'm sitting up here with you, partner.
Edwards to the bench with his 4th with 12:36 to play.
And Evan, going back to the success that Wake has had on the last couple possessions. Inside out, Walton has been that guy. Give him a touch and see if he can not only score, but kick it out again for a shot.
Cross court, C, similar spot, different result. Last touch though by Frank Anselm. Now Ted Valentine's going to ask for help, checking in with Earl Walton to see if he saw it differently. And they're going to turn it to Syracuse.
Look at Steve Forbes. He was like, come on, man.
Well, I appreciate Ted asking for help and checking in. He clearly didn't make that call with his normal conviction. 12:01 to play in the game. This one's going down to the wire here today, Brian.
Before that good challenge by Carter Witt on Joe Girard being able to get that block.
Slider has size on Williams. Tough shot. And Carter Witt skies for the rebound. Oh, what a pass to save! Oh, he missed it! But he was hit in the back of the head, and he was fouled by Frank Anselm.
What a pass by Carter Witt.
Oh, goodness. Take a deep breath, everybody.
Carter Witt comes with a no look. Couldn't be able to finish it. Don't go anywhere. We got a good one. Q's up by 1.
11:47 remaining. As close as it gets here at the Joel Coliseum. The Orange leading by 1. 3 in double figures for the Demon Deacons. Only 5 guys have scored. Add that up. All of Wake's 48. For Syracuse, they're using their depth a little bit more. They've had 8 different guys play. 7 guys have scored. Only 2 of the 5 starters currently in double figures, and all 5, of course, average double figures.
And one of the things that stands out for me for Wake is that Isaiah Musia's 16 first-half points has yet to score yet. Again, talking about Syracuse doing a good job in GC scoring balance for Syracuse. Jimmy Boeheim with 13, Joe Girard at 11. Buddy Boeheim still been able not to really get going. A lot of that is the length and the physicality by the Wake defenders.
Buddy is 2 for 11 here today. As Hadim C at the line ties the game, and Buddy was just 2 for 7, only scored 9 on Wednesday in Miami.
But here's what I'm going to tell you. With a guy like Buddy Boeheim,
I know what you're going to say.
If he gets one to go, then he can go fuego on you in a quick minute.
Hadim C comes up short. Oh, goodness, right in front of the Wake bench. They call it Syracuse ball. And Ted Valentine says, I don't want to hear it anymore, fellas.
That's why they call him TV Teddy.
All right, 49 all. 11 and change to play. Wake trying to get to 3-2 in the league with Duke coming to town on Wednesday. Syracuse has 3 home games coming up, Ryan, and 1-3 looks a whole lot different from 2-2.
Well, again, I'll go back to when we had a conversation before the game with associate head coach Adrian Aldrin. He said they've got some new parts and pieces, and when you can have guys that transfer in, it takes them a while to be able to get this Syracuse zone down. And again, they've got guys that can score. You see another mishap by Buddy Boeheim.
That was halfway in.
It's going to take some of these guys to be, because, again, one of the things that's hurt them, we see a nifty pass by Williams to Walton. But back to the point, they've got to get that zone together, because that's one of the biggest problems they have. They've proven that they can score points. Again, 4th in the league in scoring.
Boeheim was just holding his arms in the air. I'm talking about Dad. The man of many facial expressions through the years, bemused by now by the officiating sequence. Dallas Walton at the line gives Wake the lead.
We saw earlier in the beginning of the second half that Syracuse was off to a nice run. But what Wake has been able to do, as you see Walton come up with a miss, is that they have not settled for just shooting threes. They've tried to attack that zone and get into the interior.
A couple missed free throws in that last sequence from Wake Forest. He missed one, Walton missed one, Jimmy Boeheim misses as well from deep, and Witt getting in there amongst the trees for the rebound. To the corner, see, fakes it, takes it, makes it!
Oh, save, can you see? Great recognition by Carter Witt. Nadim C realizing he can post up in that corner. Big fella said, you know what? Leave me open, I got a dagger for you.
Buddy Boeheim way off. Still 15 to shoot. Gerard fouled by Witt. Free throws are coming.
Yeah, you talk about seeing how he's able to get that shot. Great recognition by Carter Witt. You see the pump fake. And he said, 3-ball corner pocket. Better put your hand up on me. Read your scouting report.
Wasn't quite the Steph Curry turning around when the ball was in the air to look at his bench, but he knew that was going in.
Well, a lot of times you get the big guys that can do that. I like the recognition for him to realize he had someone running at him to have enough presence of mind. Did you see Jesse Edwards come back into the game?
Yeah, it was just 2 minutes and 15 seconds of game time ago. 12:36 mark that he picked up his 4th.
I think Jim Boeheim realizes that now is the time to roll the dice. How about the nice run that Wake has been on? Carter Witt has given them valuable minutes, especially in transition, being able to probe that defense.
Second straight game without Davian Williamson. Veteran point guard. Williams to Witt to LaRavia. Witt's gonna take it. Gerard 1-on-4, pulls it back out. Now goes on the attack. Extra pass, open look, Buddy buries it.
Nice basketball. And you see that play, the penetration by Joe Gerard being able to get it over to Jimmy Boeheim, realizing swing, you got a wide open Buddy Boeheim. And again, Syracuse doing a good job being able to reclaim that lead.
Our 6th lead change of the ball game. Witt into the paint. Williams, one bounce shot. Gets his own rebound, and he was fouled, I think, by Benny Williams. Williams on Williams back right there.
Again, I mean, you talk about the open play, and so you see Joe Gerard being able to realize he can get out, draw 2 guys, pass. You always tell, swing, get Boeheim wide open. I love the play because he was able to bring 2 defenders over, and then Jimmy Boeheim had the presence of mind to realize, I got a little brother over there wide open.
LaRavia on the drive.
I actually thought that C could have let that one go.
Could have. Instead, Williams turns it over. Gerard picks his pocket, and then Williams returns the favor. Man, and that's the 5th
And if you're Jesse Edwards, you cannot afford that. If anything, with his length, sometimes you have to understand possession of the game. 9 minutes left to go. You don't want to challenge Alondes Williams. You see Williams realize, I'm going to attack him. He's got to challenge me. And again, 5th foul for Jesse Williams.
Jesse Edwards.
Edwards, excuse me. And you see him get the foul across his hand.
And he knew it. He knew it. 20 minutes, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 fouls. And it's not quite like the VCU game where he fouled out in 16 minutes, but pretty similar. Good things happen when they can keep that 7-footer on the floor. And he will be a spectator the rest of the day. That's big. That is really big.
It's huge because, again, you talk about he's the guy that anchors that defense with his length. And, again, this is a teaching moment. You see Adrian Autry telling him that he's more valuable, and sometimes you have to allow a play to just go on. Jim Boeheim rolling the dice, and it didn't pay off for him.
Of course, he had 7 blocks in the game on Wednesday, only 1 block today. Came early. Alondes Williams to give Wake Forest the lead. Nope. .54 all. Under 9 to play. Buddy has not had a great offensive day, but he hit his last shot. Benny Williams. Pretty good trap, and then Musius spins out of it.
Oh, and God, what a finish by Isaiah Musius.
Looked like he was bottled up in that corner.
Talk about an acrobatic finish. Syracuse had him trapped in the corner. And you see Musius realizing he's going to tiptoe along the baseline, absorb the contact, and the finish. Flex on him, young fella.
3rd foul on Benny Williams. Wake has missed 4 free throws in this last 4-minute stretch. And Nadim C just picked up his 3rd foul. 4th Wake Forest team foul. So here comes the Orange, bringing it up, down by 2. Gerard for 3. Oh, how did that not stay down? He got that roll at the end of the first half. You like Wake Forest ball movement these last few possessions?
A lot better because they have not settled. You said nice little up and under the pass.
What a
big fella.
Laravia to save.
Oh my God, can you see me? You talked about the ball movement. That started with Alondes Williams, lob to Laravia. Laravia realizing he had C underneath. Big guy finisher.
And an important answer there for Syracuse. Buddy Boeheim has 13.
Big bucket by Buddy Boeheim again with his ability to be able to be what you call a 3-level scorer. Can knock down the 3 and put the ball on the floor, using his height to be able to get to the basket.
Brian, you get the feeling there are going to be a lot of games like this in the middle of the pack in the ACC this year. Which team can make the gutty plays down the stretch? Musius with a hand in his face. Missed everything. Syracuse with another chance to tie it or take the lead with a 3. Boeheim wants it all. Rebound Williams. Thought that one was going down.
Yeah, especially if you leave him wide open. They dodged a bullet that last time because, again, he's one of those guys, and you see Carter Witt throw one up. How about the finish?
Alondes Williams. And then a blown assignment. Jimmy Boeheim gets a gift.
You don't have enough time to celebrate that basket. Joe Girard realizing he has a streaking Jimmy Boeheim. Jimmy Boeheim getting behind the defense for the finish. This is one that's going to go back and forth. Buckle in.
How does that happen if you're Wake Forest defensively?
Well, I think that you spend more time with poor communication.
Carter Witt on the drive, back outside Laravia. 5 to shoot for Witt. Tips a beautiful pass to Williams.
Pass by Witt. Great recognition by Carter Witt, realizing he had Alondes Williams behind the defense. You've got a back and forth game. Again, how about the vision? Big fella being able to absorb it. Wake taking the lead back up by 4.
Lost the headband, got the bucket anyway. 62-58, Wake Forest leading. Time to discover the best, presented by Fresh Market. 2 guys filling it up.
Yeah, Jimmy Boeheim has been able to come in the second half and find his offense. And Isaiah Musius, 16 first half points, had a nice bucket in the second half. How about Wake being able to extend this lead? One of the guys we want to mention too is Alondes Williams, that acrobatic finish right before the break. Wake doing a good job of being able to get inside of that Syracuse defense.
Another missed free throw. Deacons are 3 for 8 from the line in the second half.
Interesting if this one comes down to the wire. Wake giving a lot of points away, Evan, at the free throw line.
The brothers unable to connect on the backdoor feed. Turnover number 7.
Evan, one of the things that we highlighted about Syracuse, along with the points that they give up, is that they sometimes have turnover issues. A lot of these mixed cues may come down to haunt them at the end of the game.
And one of the things that's made Wake Forest so much fun to watch this year is their passing. Alondes Williams, Jake Laravia, we've seen Carter Witt drop a couple dimes today. Over the zone. See the bad pass. Williams with a nice play to save it. They wave off the bucket. No basket. I thought they might call it travel, and it's not a travel. It's a foul on Syracuse.
That was still a pretty move, though. You see, keeping the play alive, a little crossover, absorbing the contact, and the finish with the left. Alondes Williams said, but it looked so good.
Sure did. Now he's got to earn it from the line.
1 for 4. And the season is 72% free throw shooting.
Thanks.
And here's what I'm gonna tell you is that a guy that played, I made sure that I never left any points on the table. And with a scorer like Alondes Williams, he's 1 for 5. For me, leaving those points is almost like leaving money out there and just saying, hey, you know what? I don't want it. Oh, good block by Walton.
12 to shoot for Syracuse. And, you know, 1 for 5 is really 1 for 6 because he missed the front end of the 1-on-1.
You see the penetration by Boeheim. And how about Walton come on the backside with the help?
Get out of my living room, said Dallas Walton. Jimmy Boeheim.
Nice pick and roll between Gerard and Jimmy Boeheim. A lot of times you have to show. Gerard realizing he had 2 defenders flaring Jimmy Boeheim to knock that down. Syracuse still cutting into that lead.
1-point game, under 5 to play.
One of the guys that's been pretty quiet is Laravia in the second half. Had a big first half.
Yeah, he has not scored. 15 minutes in the second half. Sees 3, no.
Oh, man.
Yes!
A man among boys. How about Alondes Williams down there carving it up underneath?
More like a man among boys, Brian.
I like that, Ed.
Alondes Williams. The and 1 on the stick back. Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah, Steve Forbes, those are the 50-50 balls that you talk about, getting those offensive rebounds and the putback. You see him being able to cash in on the 3-point play.
Alondes Williams with 12 rebounds now in the game to go along with 21 points. Deacons back up by 4. Buddy for Benny. And Benny Williams can't connect. He's now 2 for 6.
Wake has had a lot of success lately being able to get inside interior passing. Again, try to get the ball inside of the middle. If you're Syracuse, you got to do a better job of being able to play on the ball and stay active and don't go for ball fakes.
A little too hot for that pass, trying to squeeze it through for Walton. That's Wake's 9th turnover. possession will take us under 4 minutes to play. And Syracuse steal one on the road, or will Wake Forest beat the Orange for just the second time ever? Cuse has won 9 of the 10 meetings all time. Gerard finds the open man. Swider sticks it.
Nice play, and that play stayed because of the penetration by Jimmy Boeheim, allowing Joe Gerard to be able to get the defender off the ground, force the defense to converge, get Swider wide open for the 3-ball in the corner pocket.
Cole with 10 rebounds, now 8 points. Orange hanging around. Shot clock's down to 10 for the Deeks. Laravia going baseline. Triple team, shoots anyway, and they call a foul. Jim Boeheim just holding his arms straight up in the air. Not sure if the message is for the officials or for his players. Probably both. 2 free throws for Wake when we come back. Today's Turning Point brought to you by Coyote Tractor. Alondes Williams plays bigger than his frame suggests.
And you talk about how big he's played right now. He's allowing Wake to cling on to his 1-point lead. Been doing it in a lot of different ways, but one of the big things is being able to go down there, or as you would say, a man-man among boys. 21 points, 12 rebounds, and you've seen how he's been able to aggressively attack this Syracuse zone.
Brian, it's the second time this year that Williams has had double-digit points and rebounds, but it's just his first double-double, because the first time he did it, he also had double-digit assists, so he actually had a triple-double before he had a double-double this season.
Well, and again, we highlighted him at the beginning, Evan, and how he plays. You see Moravia have 2 misses. Again, Wake leaving a lot of points on the table, but Williams is definitely, with his aggressive play and attacking the rim, has been something special for Steve Forbes and these Wake fans.
Yeah, 4 for 12 second half free throws. Woof for Wake Forest. Jimmy Boeheim, no. Tipped it to the sideline. Wake Forest ball.
Defensively, I think that Jake Laravia and Isaiah Musias they've done an amazing job on both Jimmy Boeheim and Buddy Boeheim and not allowing them to have clear looks. The story in the second half for Wake is being able to break down that Syracuse zone with their interior passing.
If they can continue to do that, probably walk out of here with a win today.
You see Walton right there in the middle. You got to give the big fella a touch. If not for him to score, but at least to shift the defense.
C from the corner, way off. Orange ball.
I'm one of those guys that feels like if it's not broken, don't worry about trying to fix it. But here's the thing. Every time that they've given the ball inside to Walton, that forces that Syracuse zone to be able to converge, and then he's going to kick it out. Right now, important possession for Syracuse.
And Walton has 4 assists. Not getting a touch that last trip, though. Buddy working on Musias. Gives Syracuse the lead.
Again, with a guy like Buddy Boeheim, he's a baller. He knows that he can go get a bucket. You're crowding him. He's going to put the ball on the floor. Enough confidence to be able to make a shot. Syracuse now by 1.
There's a touch for Walton, the leaping catch, and he's fouled by Swider. And the Deacons are in the double bonus. They'll shoot 2.
Watch Buddy Boeheim being able to survey and realize all he needs is a little bit of space right there, a little contact there, being able to finish. And this is the guy again. Preseason first team all ACC, has a quiet night, but comes up big when they need it.
Swider just picked up his 4th as Walton ties the game at 66.
Hopefully you didn't have any afternoon plans there, partner. We may be taking this one down to the wire into the overtime.
Let's have some fun. Wake Forest needed a couple free throws to drop, and Dallas Walton delivers. Steve Forbes waving his arms. They get the fans up, and they have a blind. Buddy Boeheim tried to sit him down. Who touched it last? It was deflected off the Deeks.
You saw Syracuse going to what you call a single double, where you have 2 post guys and you allow the guy in Buddy Boeheim to pick a side. Jim Boeheim opts to call a 20, wants to make sure that he gets a good offensive possession.
Allows everybody to take a deep breath with 1:42 to play. And we haven't talked a ton about it. I mean, Jim Boeheim, 46 seasons. He's never had a start to a season like this where he's 7-7 through 14 games. But if they could steal this one today, they got the next 3 at home. We know they're not all that deep, but they got good players, and they can beat anybody in this league.
Well, here's the thing. Again, we talked about the fact that they're 4th in the conference in scoring. What has been the bugaboo for them is the fact that they're last in points allowed. And so that's that defense. Trying to have new guys come in and get them accustomed to how they run things, it's going to take some time. And you've seen you've seen Spurs here where they've been able to play really good defense because they've got long athletic players. Right now, though, possession important for both teams.
How many times did that Deacon watch the Steve Forbes motorcycle bit? 50,000. Open look, Gerard. Missed it. Pretty good look for Joe Girard.
If you're awake, the clock is your friend. You do not have to run anything special. You want to take the open shot. You see Isaiah Musius shoot that one quick.
Had a good look. Musius has struggled in the second half. Buddy Boeheim lost the ball, kept alive momentarily, and then Girard steals it. Buddy to Jimmy.
Oh,
Syracuse and 1.
How about the scrappiness by Joe Girard, not giving up on the play?
Wow.
What looked like it was a Syracuse turnover, having the presence of mind. And how about you see the save by Jimmy Boeheim, and it looked like Isaiah Musius had it. Joe Girard comes up with it, or Buddy Boeheim, and a dive to Big Brother. Big Brother going at the rim.
Jimmy's made some Big Brother buckets in this second half for Hughes. He's got 20. Season high was 26 in the double overtime win against Indiana. Knocks down the and 1. It's a 2-point lead for the Orange. The clock isn't necessarily Wake's friend right now anymore.
But here's the thing. You've seen the recipe for success for them against this zone is interior passing. Get the ball inside. If anything, to force that defense to have to shift. And if not an open layup or mid-range jumper, for hopefully an uncontested 3.
C fumbled it out of bounds. It's Syracuse ball.
And it costly turnover by a C. You see Musius coming to the game. You see that swing there. Hard to win over to Musius. C not having hands on, but big possession for Syracuse. You run some clock. Either Jimmy Boeheim or Buddy Boeheim's got to touch this one.
Man, this game's been a roller coaster, hasn't it? Up and down, back and forth. Timeout, Syracuse. 15 on the shot clock, 31.7 in the game. Orange have the ball in a 2-point lead. You look at the upcoming schedule for Wake Forest and you realize even more the importance of this game today. Tell me which one of those is an easy W for the D.
I don't know about an easy W, but you look at Duke here on Wednesday, going to UVA, going to my alma mater. That may be, I hate to admit it, the way Wake is playing, that's going to be a challenge. When you talk about Carolina here and up at Syracuse, none of those look like an easy win, but the way that they have been playing, though, they definitely have a shot with the defense and the shot makers that they have.
I'm hearing Wake actually might add a game in between the Carolina and trip to Syracuse. They might play Boston College that week, waiting for the official word from the ACC. But that home game against BC rescheduled from December could be the game that Wake Forest needs. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves, Brian. 31.7 to go. What's Syracuse looking for here?
And if I'm in the Syracuse huddle right now, you give Buddy Boeheim an opportunity to be able to come off middle of the floor and be able to go either downhill to his right to get to the basket. He's really good at being able to go left, create some separation. If I'm Steve Forbes, I tell Isaiah Musius, you get up in his grill. You do not allow him to be able to get a 3. And then you want to make sure that you contest. It seems right now coming out of the timeout, Jake LaRavia is going to be on Buddy buckets. Interesting to see how they get the ball. They try to deny him and not allow him to get the ball back.
If Wake has to foul, they've got a foul to give. Buddy versus LaRavia with 5 to shoot. To Swider, rejected. Wake's got it. Down 2, 15 seconds. Williams to Musius. And he steps
he steps from the line.
Oh, no. Syracuse ball, 11.7 left.
And to be honest, the way that Isaiah Musius shot the ball in the first half, I would have liked him to let that one fly.
Now, Ted Valentine made the call, and he has gone over to the monitor to double check. There was a moment in practice yesterday where Musius stepped on the line. One of the assistant coaches pointed it out.
Yeah, I think that was obvious. I looked up at the overhead monitor, and it seemed like his foot was on there. See this play?
No question about it.
As obvious as the day is long. Unfortunate play. But if you're Steve Forbes, you tell them obviously when they get the ball inside, you want to make an immediate foul. If you look at Syracuse as far as a free throw shooting team, and again you see that play.
Hughes 9 of 10 from the free throw line here today. 72% as a team for the season. And again, Wake has a foul to give, so they're going to have to foul twice to get to the 1-and-1 if they can't get a steal.
And here's the thing, believe it or not, Evan, in ACC play, Jimmy Boeheim only 35% from the free throw line.
He's been struggling.
And that's what you depend on your assistant coaches. You allow the ball to come in, and then you try to go with an early foul.
Well, Jimmy's going to throw the inbounds pass. 7-footer from Colorado, Dallas Walton, will use his wingspan to try and disrupt it. Right in front of Brooks Savage, one of Steve Forbes' assistants over there on the Wake Forest bench. Mason Shea asked to sit down. Jimmy gets it in for Buddy. Moravia fouls him. Half a second off the clock.
Especially if you're Syracuse, the guy that you want to have the ball is Buddy Boeheim.
It's going to be a 1-and-1 again, unless there's a steal. Orange by 2. Victory hanging in the balance here in North Carolina. Into Buddy, off his hands. They're going to review it.
He's going to review it. Wake ball.
Wake ball. Ted Valentine signaled for the review before he signaled which team had possession, but the call on the floor is Wake Forest basketball with 10.5 remaining.
And Evan, my initial look, it looked like that may have gone off on Buddy Boeheim. See Ted Valentine.
And they forced that pass in there.
You see this pass right there.
He never had it.
You know what? That may be off of Walton. I saw that Walton reached for that ball. I'm not sure that Boeheim had. You see right there.
Probably a foul on Walton, too.
That's a tough angle. That's a tough angle. But here's the thing. He makes the call, and so it's got to be indisputable evidence. That last angle right there, to my eye, it didn't seem like Buddy Boeheim even had a hand on it. It looked like that may have been Walton that touched it.
Well, Steve Forbes has to use this as an extra timeout. Wake does have 2 timeouts remaining. Syracuse is out of timeouts. So if this is Syracuse ball, they're going to have to get it in from that corner. There was someone on the Wake bench with a camera. That would be the angle we need. We don't have that angle.
Our guys in the truck do an amazing job. But I think just at the angle.
You think this is going to stand, don't you?
You know what? I think that with the angle,
yeah,
it's going to stand.
Ball. How about that? So Syracuse had to get it in twice. Did it once, turned it over. And now Steve Forbes is going to take a full timeout with 10.5 remaining in a 2-point game.
If I'm in the huddle, Steve Forbes, I draw up a play that we don't have to go immediately, but we don't want to be too hesitant on an open shot. The success that they've had in this second half is that some type of interior pass to force the Syracuse defense to shift, to convert, and then you go with a kick out to one of your shooters. Jake LaRavia, Isaiah Musius. God, I mean, even C has been one of those guys that's knocked down, but I think that you don't try to penetrate and get to the basket because that's where you're going to have a problem.
And at the end of other close games this year, it has been Alondes Williams penetrating and obviously dishing to Isaiah Musius for the game winner against Charlotte. He's scored at the bucket sometimes too, but driving against the Syracuse zone is a very different beast.
And that's the point. If you're playing one-on-one, then yeah, you go to your playmaker and Williams, allowing him to be able to break down and get into that and go one-on-one. But against this zone where they've had success, you're going to have to beat them with the pass. You're going to have to move the defense to be able to get an open shot.
Wake Forest has Jake LaRavia, Hadim C, Alondes Williams, Isaiah Musius, and Dallas Walton.
And this is smart. You see how the setup, because Syracuse is going to set up in their zone. You put Alondes Williams in the backcourt to get the ball to get it in first.
Throws it 50 feet across midcourt. Here's Williams with 7 seconds. Dishing to Walton.
Oh, nice play!
We're tied. 4 seconds left. Joe Girard at midcourt. Girard for the win. No! Overtime!
I told you, Evan Lepler, don't make any plans. Great recognition. Again, being able to beat that zone. You saw the interior pass by Alondes Williams for the dunk of Walton.
We're just getting started.
Heady play, you see 2 guys, good vision. And how about the big fella being able to finish at the rim? Good drive. Occupying 2 guys, the no-look pass. Walton for the big finish.
Steve Forbes with a big fist pump on the Wake Forest bench when that Girard prayer missed. 5 more minutes coming up. Both teams with overtime victories over the Big Ten. Syracuse beat Indiana in a couple extra periods. Wake handled Northwestern in overtime on this floor on November the 30th.
Evan, if I'm Steve Forbes, I tell my guys that, hey, we have been able to, and you said lob to see.
Both these teams played overtime on the same night.
And again, for Syracuse, being able to penetrate, make the extra pass. You see Swider, a nice little pass shot. I like to be able to separation by Swider, being able to get to his right and then come back to that shot.
Syracuse strikes. Williams ties it up.
Not to be repetitious, but again, the success of Wake Forest is getting that ball inside. That last time, you see C being able to occupy a person and allow Williams to have an uncontested banker.
Back to Swider. LaRavia holds his ground.
Good defense by LaRavia.
I can already hear Jim Boeheim in the post-game press conference. Win or lose, we need more from Jesse Edwards. We need more than 20 minutes from him. He can't foul out. C, up and
nice, nice. And again, what you've seen here is that good passing by Alondes Williams on that backside of that zone. Big guy hangs out there, and then how about C using the other side of the rim to finish?
Benny Williams, no sir. Wake Forest basketball.
We talked about Alondes Williams and his rebounding, but how about another good pass, and then C being able to get to the other side of the rim.
I mean, Williams' awareness is just next level. And the awareness, along with the execution, the ability to get the ball there.
Big fella with the jump hook.
That was nifty.
But again, in the first 5 minutes of this overtime, Wake has opted to put the ball inside. They have not shot a jump shot. Getting inside of that Syracuse zone, up in this lead now to 4.
Yeah, 6 straight for Wake Forest. Buddy Boeheim fouled. They call it on the floor. It'll be 1-1. The 4th personal foul on Wake Forest's Jake LaRavia. Buddy He's the guy you want at the line if you're Syracuse. 90% on the season. You can't kibosh a shooter like that. Buddy leading the ACC in minutes per game. Today will help that department. 38 minutes already and counting. I beg your pardon, 41. His brother has played 38. Too many Boeheims in the box score, Brian.
We've seen what Wake needs to do against the Syracuse zone. If you're Syracuse, you've got to pay attention to that backside guy because they've been able to get inside the middle, and then the lob has been something that's really hurt Syracuse. Again, touch pass big to big.
And C met by a good defensive play, and Selim got all ball, and Syracuse will take over on the alternating possession.
You see, good challenge by Selim right here, being able to lock that ball up.
Wow. Syracuse with a chance to tie or take the lead with a three. The Orange were 4 for 4 from 3 in this game. They're 4 for their last 22 from deep after starting 4 for 4. 10 to shoot for Buddy. Behind the back. Laravia, pretty good contain, got a piece of it.
Good tough defense by Jake Laravia, and you see for the run out.
Ahead of the pack, Laravia missed it. Off the good feed from Alondes Williams. What a basketball game this has been today at the Joel Coliseum. Williams deflects it out of bounds for Syracuse with 1:55 to go in OT. Slider going at Mucius.
Good block by Walton. Oh, great help by Walton, pinning against the backboard.
Boeheim calling for goaltending. Officials do not concur.
If you're Wake, you're not in a rush. You take your time. Realize where you get the ball. You see Williams right there in the middle.
Williams to the hoop, comes up short.
This is the guy that can go get them a bucket.
And his father says, let's catch our breath. Well, Jesse Edwards blocking 7 shots on Wednesday. Dallas Walton has been the denier at the rim today. It's a 2-point Wake Forest lead. Syracuse ball when we return. 1:16 remaining here in overtime. 75-73, Wake leads. The Boeheim brothers. And Chris Murray.
And you see more of an efficient day for Jimmy Bay. Buddy has struggled a little bit, and a lot of that has been because of the defense from Wake, putting the long, physical defenders, and a lot of that has been Jake Laravia and Isaiah Mucius. But again, Syracuse has put themselves in position with 1:16 left to go to be able to tie this thing up.
Jim Boeheim taking his final timeout with 1:16 left. Let's review the importance of this game. Obviously, Wake played well on Tuesday night. Their biggest ACC win in quite a while, taking down Florida State. If Wake can get this one, they're 3-2 in the top half of the league for sure heading into the week. Syracuse, meanwhile, they're either 1-3 or 2-2 heading into their upcoming 3-game homestand.
Well, you look at where these teams are. One of the teams that surprised me, Virginia Tech, off to 0-3. A lot of these teams are going to start to knock one another off. And so early in January, when the seasons really get going, it's important to defend home. And if you're Wake, you want to defend your home 9-0. If you're Syracuse, you've dropped your last 2. This would be a huge win to be able to get it on the road.
A huge win no matter who gets it. It's a heartbreaking loss for no matter who gets it. Step back, Jimmy. Air ball, save, Slider sees the clock, and missed everything again.
Great defensive possession by Wake. I thought for Syracuse, you had an overload on the side with Gerard and both of the Boeheim brothers. That ball should have moved back out to the middle for spacing. Good defensive possession. For Wake, now what you do, you're up 2. Use a little clock. You've had success in getting to the middle of that zone. Careful on the backside if you're Syracuse with Walton lurking.
Laravia gets it back out. Extra pass for Williams. He'll take it. Doesn't get the roll, and Swider's got it with 35 seconds.
C seemed a little reluctant to pull the trigger on that. I thought he was wide open. Syracuse gets another look at it.
Who's going to make the biggest play late in the game? Joe Girard missed it. But the rebound for Anselm. And he was fouled, so he's going to shoot 1 and 1. Go back to that last possession for Syracuse. Is Cole Swider hit on the arm like Jim Boeheim thought?
All day, every day.
Says the shooter, Brian Oliver.
All day, every day.
Missed the front end. Hadim C for a lane violation. He came in a split second early. Holy cow.
Another opportunity. You see right as he gets rid of the shot on C in the lane.
And now he'll get one more for the chance to tie.
Anselm 70% on the year. 14 for 20.
This game has had a little bit of everything, Brian. Anselm for the tie. No, he missed it.
Out.
Oh, what a play! Swider had it, and then he turned it over to Laravia. Syracuse has to foul. Alondes Williams pulls it back out. Jimmy Boeheim gives the foul. It was a crazy lunging bid by Swider.
And you saw Alondes Williams think of going to the basket. Steve Forbes yelled at him to pull the ball out, because obviously what you don't want to do is go and score right now, the clock. You want to run that out and force Syracuse to foul it.
You'd rather get a layup, though, than get 2 free throws.
But it was necessary. It wasn't a wide open. It could have been one that he may have missed.
2 for 6. That's a big one.
Important knockdown free throw, because we talked in regulation that Wake Forest had on a little streak where they had maybe missed a lot of free throws, that free throw shooting at the end would be important.
Make it a 3-point game. Yep. Steve Forbes takes a timeout. 13.1 seconds left. Syracuse set a program record with 17 three-pointers on Wednesday night in Miami, and they lost. Tonight, they started 4 for 4. They're 4 for 24 since then. 8 for 28 for the day, and they trail by 3 with 13 seconds left.
Again, Evan, I'm going to go back to the defense from the perimeter guys from Wake Forest, and the fact that they have not allowed the guards, being Buddy Boeheim, Joe Girard, and even Swider, to be able to get those threes off. If they've gotten those threes off and been contested threes, they have gotten into their chest and made them drivers. If I'm looking at the Syracuse bench, the debate is whether you go for a quick 2 or you go for a 3. A lot of times the debate on the Wake side is that, do we allow them to waste some time and go for the foul and not let them get a 3 off? Interested to see how Syracuse draws this play up, because Buddy Boeheim has proven that he's always a threat anytime he gets the ball.
And 2 factors that could impact both of those decisions. Wake's only at 8 team fouls, so the next foul will be 1 and 1. So they're not given 2 shots necessarily, they're given 1 and 1. On the other hand, Syracuse, they don't have any timeouts left. So maybe they're more compelled to shoot a 3. Let's find out. Girard across midcourt, nearly lost it. Bumped by Williams. With 4 seconds, Buddy Boeheim missed it. Swider gets it off, missed it again. Wake Forest wins. 77-74 in overtime. The Demon Deacons win their 2nd straight here at the Joel.